Hello, and welcome. Caro Labara here, and today I will talk a little bit about click track in Cubase. As you may know, in Cubase we don't have an option to click one button and we've created audio file from the click, so we only have a click sound on it. Some DAWs have this option, not Cubase, and to be honest, I was waiting for Cubase 8 to see if something will change there. Nothing changed, so it's all the same on the Cubase 6 or 7 or 8. It doesn't really matter. It basically works the same in all these versions of Cubase. So I will show you a few options how people are doing this click tracks, how it's prepared here, and what solutions I come up with. Because if you are RME audio sound card user, that's not a big deal for you, because RME cards are allowing you to route the audio internally, so you can take your click sound out of Cubase and put it back into your input, so you can record basically your click sound. Okay, but this is just for RME audio users and few other manufacturers. It's not something everyone can do, and my idea was to create a solution for everyone. It doesn't really matter what flavor of Cubase you're using and what sound card you're using. You all have to be able to create a click track if you need one. So people were asking me, why do I need a click track? There are many options why you could need and why the click track is something you would like to have. For example, if you have an orchestral session or acoustic session with live musicians, and you're creating score for a film, there are certain points, everything needs to really be on this particular point, like an accent or a stop or something, and you can write everything on the paper in the music you provide for the musicians, but it's really hard to do it perfectly, and especially when you have some sessions with other sounds already recorded, like MIDI sounds or a sound design. People like to have the click track to be sure exactly on this point something happens. Or you have a drummer in your band and you would like to give a click track to this drummer so he can practice the new song with a lot of tempo changes and breaks and stuff like this. So click track is basically just an audio file with all the clicks on it, nothing more. And it sounds pretty basic and pretty easy. Somehow in Cubase it's not that easy to create one. People are struggling with it. I've got a few emails asking for some solution for it, and today I will show it to you how I do it. There are also other ways, and people for example, to use MIDI files. So what you see here is a simple quarter note MIDI file. And I can put my quarter notes everywhere I need a click. I can hook up an instrument there, which is creating a particular sound while triggering this note. It should be whatever percussive sound. The good thing about this is sometimes I don't need a click through the whole tune. Maybe I need just like 4 clicks for the beginning, so I know, okay, so I can set up my tempo. This is my tempo, 1, 2, 3, 4, bang, and from now I'm playing pretty freely. And maybe I need 4 clicks before some big change appears in my tune, something like that. And using this MIDI files for this, because all I can do is just solo this and play this out as an audio file, which will be easy. It's great, and I've used it many times this way. The problem is I have to create this MIDI files for every track, and sometimes it takes time, and sometimes I don't have the time. So I was looking for something maybe easier to do. And another option people are using is to take whatever MIDI sound you like and create an audio file out of it. So you just create this little audio snippet with just this one click, okay? And since it's an audio file, you can again, So since you have this little audio file snippet, you can copy it and you can, put it whatever you want. And when you change your tempo track, when you change your tempo and you play with your tempos, these gonna shift accordingly. So it's really a cool way to create a click tracks if you are using this different time bases we were talking about last time. So let's go back here. These are all the options people come up with to be able to have some click reference in their music. What I come up with, and like I said, the idea was to have it for each and every one. And let me show you this Cubase comparison chart. This happens to be the Cubase 7, but basically it's same for Cubase 4, 5, 6, and 8 now even. When you go to page 8 here, where's the page 8? There. You see under Virtual Instruments, Groove Agent 1, it's this one which is provided for every flavor of Cubase. So Cubase 7 have it, Cubase Artist and Cubase Element 7, they all have this Groove Agent 1. And this is very important because we need to be here between different sessions and between different flavors of Cubase, all have to be the same. And I may use, for example, my laptop on the recording session, and maybe there's another version of Cubase, not the big one which I have here, and this workaround will still work there. So and another thing, I've created a few files for you guys, and the name of these files are click track in parentheses, so they will appear pretty either as first instance on the list or somewhere at the beginning because of the parentheses at the beginning. And we have a GAK file, which is for Windows or for Mac users is the same. This is basically Groove Agent 1 kit. And this kit we have to load into Groove Agent 1, which I will show you later. And the other one is the track preset called Click Track. And the other one is a VST preset called Click Track. Beside that, we have also a folder here, a compressed folder, .rar, which are all the audio files I've used in this Groove Agent 1 kit. All the clicks, all the different clicks I could find. This is, I think, over 30 different sounds. And one URI click sound, which I like the most and I'm using on all my sessions. Also here as an audio file. It happens to be AIFF, but doesn't really matter. It could be MP3, it could be WAV. So these files you will be able to download. The link will be provided in the description. And now I will show you what to do with these files. It's pretty easy. So when we go to our Metronome setup window, and first to do this you have to go to Transport, go to Metronome setup, and I've created also a shortcut for me, so I can use it here quicker from my keyboard. And when you open the Metronome setup window, it looks like that. Okay, and this is something you can see by default. I think by default you will see something like that actually. This is the default. Okay, so default we have this activate audio click here, and we have beeps. And beeps, they sound, let me mute these guys. Beeps will sound like this. And we are pretty much all familiar with this sound. It's not the best one, it's not the worst one, but when you're practicing or you're creating and you're listening to this click for a long time, your ears might get fatigued and really tired of this sound. It's pretty sharp. And the other problem with this click is on the recording session, when you record with these clicks in your headphones, there's a big chance it will leak from the headphones and go back into the microphone. So your microphones will pick up this sound basically. And I had sessions where we recorded something and then there was so much bleeding, so much clicks, we have to do these takes again because this sound is pretty sharp and really goes through all the headphones. So personally, I like to use the URI click sound, which first isn't tonal, there is no particular note, particular sound, so it doesn't matter what key you're playing with, it's not clashing with it, and the frequency of the sound is such that it's not really bleeding from the headphones that much, and it's of course not fatiguing your ears, it's not so sharp. So I go to my metronome setup, and to change this sound, just to change the sound, I go to sounds, and here I can change whatever sound I like, and whatever audio snippet I will choose here will be played as my click sound. So I can click on there, and I will have a window, and Cubase will ask me, okay, where is the sound? So I will navigate to my files here with the sound, and it happens to be my URI click, which is, like I said, AIFF sound. So you will need to choose all types here. Otherwise you won't be able to see this particular file there, which I think WAV file is a default one. When I go to all files, I see all my files, also the other I've talked about, but then I choose this URI click, and I can listen to this click, and so on and so forth. Okay, and you have two options here, the high and the low. The high will be the accented one, which goes on 1 most of the time, and on 2, 3, 4 will be this one played. When I do this is how it sounds. Yep, that's a URI sound. Okay, but to be able to record the sound, I have to create a track here, and this is basically an instrument track. When I go and analyze this is an instrument track. When I open the when I open the Groove Agent 1, you see here, that's the Groove Agent 1 window. This is on this list, I have already this VST preset click track selected, and default this VST preset isn't there. You have to load it first in your VST preset folder, and you will have this 8-bit kit, I suppose, which isn't really the best one for click. Okay, so when you load your VST preset, you can see it in this list here, and because of this parenthesis at the beginning, it will be the first position here, so I can use this one. And what you have here are all the sounds I created for you here, or I put together. I haven't created them. The URI clicks, different wood sounds, sticks, synth sounds, whatever. We have 3 groups here, so 16, another 16 sounds, some cowbells, stuff like that, and the group 5 is a small one with okay, where are they? There, with different sounds, which yeah, maybe not so useful, but altogether you have over 30 sounds, and there is something you will like, believe me. So how we do this? Let me remove this track for now, assuming you don't have this track now, right? If we don't have this track and we go to our metronome setup, instead of activate audio click, we have to activate the MIDI click. And default, this is basically what you can see, although there should be a channel 10 default. I will change it to channel 1 because this is how I set up my Groove Agent 1. So let's do this now. And here you see there is no instrument connected. So I have to click on it and choose from the instruments I have. And these are all my MIDI things connected to my computer here, which the list will look different from what I have here on your machines, of course. But there is basically nothing I can choose right now. So first I have to create my instrument track. What I go here and I click with the right button here, my mouse button, and I go and add instrument track. Then I will get this window, and in my window I will have all my click track track preset here, and this is again the file I will give you, and you can just put it in your track preset folder, so you'll be able to find it here. and then you click twice and the track will be created for you. And the track is already named click track. It has a beautiful metronome icon here, and it's already a Groove Agent 1 loaded there with all the particular sounds we're needing for our click. So when I go to my metronome setup now, and I'll go to my activate MIDI click here, on this list now this click track MIDI in option appears because I have something to choose from, and I will choose this one. I will like I said, I would change this to my channel 1. And the good thing about this technique is I have these different notes. I can skip through the notes to hear the different sounds in the Groove Agent 1. When I open my Groove Agent 1 again, I like to have my URI sound here. So C2, C2 is here. Yep, C2, and my D2 for this softer one. This is how I use them, and these are basically these sounds here, right? So when I activate my click and I play my click track, I'll be able to hear this sound. So let's go for the last time here and see. Okay, C3 is wrong. I like to have C2. There it is. So my click track as my source of the sound, my track number, channel number 1, MIDI channel number 1. I have these notes which will create the click sounds. And okay, now when I play click track, you will see something is happening here. You can obviously hear the sound when you open the Groove Agent 1 window. You see these two pads are triggered by Cubase, so this is the sound you will hear. Okay, what left? Actually, we just need to create an audio file, so we have to bounce the whole length of the track. Now we have like 6 bars here, so it's not that long. When I go to my audio mixdown window, and let's say this is my click track number 4 right now. The most important setting here is a real-time export. You have to use it. You have to click the real-time export because you have to understand what is Cubase doing here. If it's not selected, or let's do this way, and I click on export, it will take a second, but there will be nothing on this track. Why? Because Cubase knows already what the tempo changes are, and Cubase don't need to hear the sound. So if you do something offline, of course Cubase isn't triggering or playing these sounds because it's offline, you don't need to hear it. Because these sounds, these click sounds, are basically just for you, for me, for the musicians who are using this later to know, okay, where am I in my session, what's the tempo, and what the tempo changes are. Cubase knows this stuff already. So again, if you do this offline, nothing will be here. So we have to go back there, and you have to choose this real-time export. Okay, it takes more time. Okay, I have to create a unique name, no problem, create unique name, and then it will go basically in real time. And what we have here is our click track, basically. And you see some accented one are louder than the other ones. It all depends on the sound you have chosen from Groove Agent 1 window or from the Metronome setup window. And that's it. All the tempo changes, everything is there. So right now you can give it to a player. You see everything changes, and when I change different track tempo track version, you see, because it's audio, you hear the tempo changes from the version 1. If I go to version 3, so it's totally different. I still hear the version 1. So let's say now I want to create this one. I have to mute this audio because otherwise it will be also created. And I go for like version, whatever version it is, this version 3. I will name it 5. And real-time export, not forget that. I will export this one. Wait a sec for this to happen. And let's face it, we are not creating MIDI tracks which are like 50 minutes of clicks, so you have to wait 50 minutes. It's not really the case, I think. Okay, let's see. We have different version here, so let's mute this one and create another one. And this is basically how it's done. All the different tempo changes you will have as a separate audio files now, and you can this way you can create different versions for your track. Maybe you have different tempo versions, and when I go to my metronome setup, you see I'm using this click track. Now I can switch it off, or I can press basically a C button on my keyboard, so the metronome is not available right now. It's nothing to hear, because I will hear these tracks, so I can solo them. And you see that's the one track with this tempo changes. That's another track with these tempo changes, and that's the last track we see here with these tempo changes. Okay, so this is how it's done. I hope it's clear and easy, and I think once you do it by yourself, you will see, okay, this is actually pretty easy to do. Just load these files. I will provide you a link. Create this instrument track, and automatically this Groove Agent 1, which is available for all the Cubase flavors, will be loaded, and all you have to do is do this settings here. So your click track, your MIDI port is selected, and your notes, your sounds basically you want to use are selected. That's it. That's all what is to this topic about click tracks in Cubase. I encourage you to use this technique. If you have questions, write me an email or put it in the comments. That's it for now. Thank you. Bye.